Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a how I found out I was pregnant video. It is kind of a weird way to find out. Well, I guess not very weird. It was just ironic, and a couple things happened that I'm just like so crazy. Okay, so first of all, me and Dylan were trying to get pregnant for a couple months. The first month that we were trying, I was just completely overthinking everything. So the first month it didn't happen. Second month obviously is when it did happen. And I remember I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stress out. I'm not gonna overthink anything. You know, whatever happens, happens. And I remember I was just like so down, and I was like, this month I'm not gonna be, upset about it. I'm just gonna let, whatever happens, happen. And that'll be that. And so I remember, that time of the month had came where the window for baby making was ready, and we did it. And I remember there's like a 2-week wait period where you basically just have to kind of wait out all these crazy symptoms you're putting in your head that you have that you probably don't have. But I remember just waiting and waiting, and I was like, okay, I shouldn't take a test because I know it's too soon. I shouldn't do it, but I did. I bought so many pregnancy tests. It was unbelievable. I can't even tell you how much money I spent on pregnancy tests, like cheap ones, digital ones, first response ones, like online ones. Like, I was just out of control because I wanted to know the second I was pregnant that I was pregnant. And I was like putting all these things in my head that I was having these symptoms that probably weren't there. And I just remember the night before I found out I was pregnant, I actually went to the store. I bought a first response like duo pack. It had a digital, and it had like one of those line tests on it. And I remember I was like, okay, like if I am not pregnant, like these tests will tell me. Like if it doesn't say that it's positive, like that's it. Like this month was out, like it's fine. But I just had like a gut feeling. I knew that like something, like I knew there was a very, very high chance. So I bought the test, one of the last tests I bought, and I went to my room. Dylan was at work. I took the test. It was a digital one, and it was a first response digital, so it would either say yes or no. And so I was waiting and waiting, and I was reading the box, and I'm like, I feel like the result should be coming up by now. Like something should be happening. Something should be populating. Yes or no, maybe, whatever. And so I looked at it like after like, it was honestly probably 5 to 7 minutes that I was sitting there, and I feel like it should have popped up within at least, I think it said 3. And I looked down, and the digital part that's supposed to say yes with a plus or no with a negative had a question mark. And I was like, like what is happening? What does that mean? It just like sent me into a panic. And so I'm like, okay, it's not meant to be, like it didn't happen. So the next night, the night I took the test and I got like that weird response was on Friday. The next day, Saturday, I had planned to go out with all of my sisters and my friends. We had like a night out downtown somewhere we were going. And I remember like the 2 months that we were trying, like I hadn't been drinking at all. Like I completely stopped, even if it was just wine, like I just didn't want to take the chance of drinking and becoming pregnant and not knowing. Even though I knew I was just trying to, I don't know, be precautious. I was going to be the designated driver in case anyone decided to drink. So my friend Tyler came over Saturday morning. It was probably like 11 or 12. And I remember I texted him in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I know it's going to sound weird. I'm going to send you money, and I need you to buy me a pregnancy test because I refused to go into any other drugstore in my city because I feel like everyone saw me go in there like 80 times, and it was embarrassing at this point. I'm like, why do I keep going in and buying stuff? Like I'm just out of control. My friend was like, okay. So he came over, and I ran to my room, put it under my sink, and I was like, okay, like trying to think in my head, when should I take it? So we were like sitting and talking for a few minutes. I think we ate something, and we were just like talking about what was going to happen that night. And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go take it just because, I really felt like I had to use a restroom, and I feel like every time I go to take a pregnancy test, I never have to go to the bathroom. And so it's like barely enough urine to even like wet the thing. So I'm like, you know what, I have to go. I'm just gonna take it. It had been, like 10 to 12 hours since I took the last one. So I go in the bathroom and I take it completely expecting like a big fat negative, like nothing was gonna be there. And so I took it and I'm waiting. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I honestly almost threw it away. And then I look down at it and I'm like, what is that? You know, I'm like, I texted Dylan and I was like, Dylan, like come in here. And cause he was in his game room. And I was like, Dylan, come in the bathroom right now. He was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? I was like, nothing, like just come in here. Like I need second opinion. So he comes in and he had seen probably like 20 tests at this point, like from the past couple months of me just testing. And so he was always like, no, there's nothing there. Like you're not, he didn't say I was crazy, but he's like, you're just like seeing things that you want to see. And so I knew like if he didn't see it, then it was like, it was no, and it was just in my head. Because this line that I saw on this test was seriously so faint. And I actually probably still have the video that I took of it because it was so hard to see in a picture that you could only see it if you like put it in certain lights with a video. It was, I probably caught this, like I probably got that test positive like the second like everything started happening because it was seriously so faint. So he comes in and he was like, I don't, you know, like I don't see anything. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I see something, like I'm not crazy. And I had to like point to what I was looking at and he's like, oh my God, like I think I see something. Like, I mean, he was like, I mean, it's not like a big fat, like pink line, but I definitely see the making of something. And that's something that he had never said before. So in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like I honestly went into shock. And like all day, I was like, what is happening? Like there could be potential life like growing in me right now. And like, I kind of think I know, but like, I don't really know. And it was just on my mind the whole night. And I had my friend Tyler come in and I'm like, Tyler, like, do you see something? And he was like, yeah, like, I mean, it's definitely faint. Oh, since we were all meeting up that night, I put this pregnancy test in my purse, brought it with me. And I don't even think I think the only sister I told at that time was my sister Jennifer, just because she was going to be riding with me and Tyler out to where we were going. And I was like, the whole night, it was just like, I felt like I was out of my body. And I'm like, I just want to go home. I want to take another one. I want to know, like, I want to know. And I was like, I don't know, like, I don't want to spend any more money, but like, this thing is so faint. And I actually still have the test that I took, and I will save it till the day I die. But I have the test that I took, and you can totally see the line now because it's like darkened over time, which is really gross. But it's darkened over time, like just sitting there. But at the time, you could barely tell. But let me see. You guys can totally see it now. So that lighter line was the one that I was like barely seeing. And that darker one is just like the test line to know that like the stick is working basically. But I had this thing in my purse all night, and I was like going to the bathroom, looking at it, you know, seeing if it got darker. So me and Tyler and my sister Jennifer, it was like 2 in the morning. We were like, okay, we're out. Like, we're done. We're like tapped out for the night. We're going to go home. So I was driving, and I was like, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I need another pregnancy test. Like, I need it. So I was like, okay, Tyler, we're going to pull over to CVS. I'm giving you my debit card. So I had my friend Tyler do it. And of course, they didn't have any of the line pregnancy tests. All they had were digitals. So I was like, oh my God, like, oh, I'm so aggravated. Like, I want to see, you know, if the line got darker. I don't want to get like a weird, maybe quick, because I honestly swear to God, I got a question mark on the first pregnancy test, the first digital one I took. So I was like, I'm going to take a bath, you know. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love bubble baths. Like, they are so relaxing. I would prefer a bath over a shower, and most of the time I do take a bath over a shower. I was like, I'm going to take a bath. And as I was I turned on the water. I put like, you know, bubble bath in there. I was like, I'm going to take one of these digital tests, you know, like it's going to say no, but at least like that'll be the end of my night. I'll be fine. Like, I can just mentally prepare for next month. So I peed on the digital test. I got in the bath, and I remember I set the pregnancy test on the edge of the bathtub, like on the little rail. And I was just sitting there, like I was on my phone, and I was just like scrolling through pictures that we had taken from the night. So I'm scrolling, and I was like, okay, like I'm done with my phone. Put my phone down, and I realized that my pregnancy test was there, and I was like, oh my God, like I don't want to look. And I look over, and it said yes with a plus. And I was like I was in such shock. I don't even know if it was shock. It was just like disbelief, because I knew deep down that I could be, and then there was a really, really high chance. It was just the fact that I saw like yes, and because it was a digital, and digital ones are harder to like detect, like the amount of HCG in your urine and everything. I was like, if this says yes, like I'm 100%. And so of course Dylan wasn't home. So I'm like trying to FaceTime Dylan at work, like answer, like this is huge, like I need to talk to you. And so I ended up FaceTiming him and showing him the test. Hi, baby. And I was just in shock. Like, I just couldn't believe it. It was just crazy. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tell, you know, anybody, minus my sisters. I did end up telling my younger sister that night, after I took the test, and my other two sisters, Dallas moved. I ended up telling my sisters that night, and they were all like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, they were just in shock because, you know, I had just been trying, and I was just like hoping and praying that everything would happen, and it did. And so then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tell my family until, you know, I'm like 12 weeks, like family meaning like Dylan's parents, my parents, stuff like that. That didn't happen because we were so excited. The next people we told were Dylan's parents, and we actually did get their reaction on camera, and I'm gonna put the video in after I tell you guys kind of a brief rundown of how we told them. So I wanted to do something like kind of cute. I didn't want to just come over and be like, oh, we're pregnant. So we went over there one night for dinner. We got a pizza, and I took a picture of my test, like all my positive tests, and I had one of my sisters print them out, and I was like, print this out for me and put on the on the paper with the pictures, type out, eat up, I don't want to be the only one with a belly. And so my plan was to take the picture. Once we got the pizza, when they opened up the box, it would be like taped on the top of the box. And so we did that. We went over, we showed it to them, and I'm gonna insert the video footage of their reaction.
We got garlic knots too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh my God!
No, look.
I'm so excited.
It
doesn't seem real yet.
The belly. 2 pregnancy tests that say pregnant.
She's pregnant.
Oh my God! Oh,
So that was really, really cool. It was crazy. Even telling them, it felt really weird because I'm like, this doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't seem real. So we ended up telling them, but it was close to Mother's Day. And I remember we told them, and then I was like, okay, I want to tell my mom. Because my poor mom had no idea, you know? I mean, she knew I was trying, but she didn't know yet. So me and all my sisters did like an early Mother's Day lunch at a restaurant. And I'm going to insert the video of her reaction right now.
I want to take a picture of the drink.
What is this thing?
Oh, I never guess what this is by feeling it.
Now you gotta open it up from the front so you can read what it says.
Oh, it's a thing. Oh. What?
You gotta turn it around. Turn it around.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Is it positive for sure? Oh my God, are you serious? I'm holding this pee-pee string. I fell in my lap. I should have known. Oh my God.
I can't tell you.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Oh, love you.
No wonder she sent me a text earlier today or yesterday. Love you. Like thumbs up.
So yeah, that was her reaction, which was so cute. And I'm just so excited. Yeah, I'm super excited. And I can't wait to bring you guys along the rest of the journey. And I hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.